The Natural Products Expo West is the world's largest organic and healthy products trade show. This food lovers event just wrapped up in Anaheim, California. And joining us to talk us through some of its key trends is registered dietitian Ashley Koth. Ashley, great to see you.
Hi, thanks.
So this is always a fun event for you, isn't it? Lots of new products.
Thousands and thousands. I mean, you're in Anaheim Convention Center, and it's just row after row after row. And New Hope puts on, I mean, they bring in, and we'll see here, just the most interesting products that you've seen. So let's dive right into it.
Thank you for bringing us your favorites. Let's start with everybody's favorite, chocolate.
Yeah, you know, this year I walked in there and I really would have thought that this was out of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I mean, you saw chocolate everywhere. I could have had the entire table filled, but I brought some of the standouts for me here. You know, there's chocolate as we've seen it used in bars, and we still saw that in truffles. We see there's actually chocolate supplements for pregnant women. We saw an organic version of the favorite chocolate spread from Europe. So it's, you know, they're improving the quality.
Nice. Is that like a Nutella sort of?
Exactly. Yeah. So a little bit of an upgrade on there. And then I love, you know, brand names. So we've got Fearless chocolate mixed with all these things. And, you know, people are walking around with these badges. I am fearless.
Is the trend here to go organic and go dark? Is that what's going on?
Organic, raw is really interesting. And I'll point out over there, you'll see raw at 70% to 100%. And even things, you know, we've got chocolate mixed with spirulina. We've got chocolate with probiotics. We've got chocolate with, so, you know, chocolate's become this enabler for everything else health-wise.
You even have a little chocolate smoothie
we have an
here.
Upgrade of, exactly, an upgrade, and actually Amazon's wonderful. They've done a, this has a whole protein soy milk in there. A great option for you, but also for kids, you know, so this is going to give you whole protein.
Is this actually good for me, or am I
It is good for you. It's going to give you a balance of nutrients. You get omega-3 fatty acids. Yeah, so they're a wonderful company. I do work with them.
And sugar is sort of low down on the
very low down, because acai doesn't naturally have sugar in it, so they do add a little bit in there.
Oh, yum.
Some of the other areas, and we'll still see chocolate permeating through, you know, some of the other areas these are upgrades on things that we've liked and we've loved for years, but now we're seeing healthier versions. So, you know, we've seen kale chips, but now we see kale chips in flavors that you would think of with Doritos. So, you know, we have cheesy kale chips, and we have...
And do these actually taste okay?
And they do, for the most part. We'll have you sampling some of them. We have upgrades of one of the biggest issues that I have for people is they love to use the non-dairy creamers, and I have them turn over the labels. I'm like, you guys, the ingredients in here are all chemicals. So there's a European company that did that.
Did these creams, and what are the ingredients?
Yeah, so in their whole ingredients, so they're basically using their non-dairy replacement, but then they're not using any chemicals in there. So they're using like rice starch and things like that. You have a lower version of salt also. So they've reduced the sodium and they've increased the potassium, more similar to what our body is looking for. So that's a great option for people. We have an upgrade on actually Kool-Aid. So we have, instead of having just the plain coconut water, and instead of having to have it in the liquid form, we have a Kool-Aid version here, which is flavored coconut water. You can just mix that to the water bottle. Exactly. And an upgrade on our old favorite of, and they're to die for, the peanut butter chocolate cup. So you've got organic, vegan, dark chocolate. Exactly, right? And our energy drinks, instead of actually doing an energy drink, there are supplements that actually will help you with your energy and give you real energy from a body standpoint.
Upgrades on old favorites. We love it, making them better and better and better.
Yes, exactly.
There's a big trend in goat products.
Yeah, I was doing the whole like move over a cow, you know what I mean? So we've got in this phase, there was goat everything. You know, there's goat kefir, there's goat, you know, everybody had heard of goat cheese, but seeing it integrated on all these places, and it's great for you because goat is actually much easier from an allergen standpoint. So people who are having trouble with cow's milk can introduce small amounts of the goat dairy and be able to have something like a pizza or a flatbread.
Oh, really? So if you do have a dairy intolerance, you may be able to...
If you have a lactose intolerance, it'll be lower in lactose, and also people who are allergic to the casein and things like that in cow's milk will often do well with goat's milk.
Let me try this. I love goat's milk. Let me try one of these.
And that's their goat's milk cheddar. So you know, you don't just have the plain feta flavor. You have different flavor. There's a smoked, and then we have even things goat soap. And this in the goat's milk is closer to the pH of our skin, so it actually is useful for us as well as being something that someone can use.
And it smells amazing.
Yeah, and I mean they're beautiful, you know, to put out that way.
It's good to keep our skin moisturized.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. So it's not, you know, they keep the glycerin in there. It's not removing anything. It's going to be moisturizing while we moisturizing and cleaning. And then there's this entire area of things that we've probably never heard of. I love, you know, cockadoo plum. We've got lily pilly. We've got wattle seed. These are all things.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Camu, merkin, maca, teff. You know, all sorts of things. And then
these seeds? Or
they're from all over the world. So camu camu is from a camu powder we find in South America, very rich source of vitamin C. Merkin is more like chilies and things like that. That's actually in chocolate.
And they're putting it in
the fun
chocolate.
part. Absolutely. So, I mean, you must try it. I know, such a hard job, right? Sashanichi, or here the savi seed, are very rich in omega-3s, so they're even higher than, say, your walnuts and things like that. Again, from South America, we tend to get a lot of those great sources there.
Going back to what I just ate, is that from South America? The
no, well, actually it is. It's Ecuadorian chocolate that they're, again, the raw, the organic, they're sourcing it sustainably, and then they're adding this in there.
Delicious. Absolutely. Yeah. And they're even putting it in shampoo and conditioner?
It's shampoos and conditioner. Well, this is where our wattle seed, lily pilly, all of these ingredients. So these are from the outback, and they're using whole ingredients from nature and putting those into your shampoo, your conditioner, your body lotion.
Fantastic.
And then we have things like raw water, which, you know, if we read the label on here, do not open in like bold letters, right?
Fill me in here. What is raw water?
I'm still trying to figure it out, but as far as I understand, we're into this space where we're not allowed to rip it open. I was wondering if it was going to kind of blow up at us as we did it.
Oh, yes.
And then I opened up the bag and I said, okay, it basically looks like a water bottle, you know? So raw water.
A little bit of marketing going on
A little bit
there.
of marketing on that part, absolutely.
All right.
We have healthier lifestyle. One of the really big trends here is that everything is done in a reusable. So in Japan, you're not, as a kid or adult, you're not allowed to have paper towels in the public restrooms.
You bring one of these?
Bring your own, you know, so I love that. That says this is a tree and
so
shows it that way.
Look at that.
There was an exercise equipment company that is using all recycled ingredients, so we've got that here. There was a mom who just said, no more plastic spoons for my kids, so she developed this, and she's got the 2 different spoons on that part.
Disposable spoons
exactly.
that are recyclable, I guess.
Yeah.
Great.
And then the other trend, just like chocolate, is everything under the sun coconut. We've got our coconut oil, we've got coconut milk and cereals, we've got coconut, this is the new IT ingredient, if you will, coconut palm sugar, which is going to be not as much fructose as agave, which has kind of come under the gun.
So coconut for our skin, coconut for our food, coconut for our
coconut
dessert,
for everything.
Coconut for everything.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Ashley Koff, thank you so much for bringing us some of your favorites. This is really, really fun.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And for more information on the expo and other health-related news, log on to the health page at abcnews.com for all the latest health news.